Ah! Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Year review. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another Pokemon Go video. I'm Count Jinsula. Let's talk about 2018. I believe this was a phenomenal year for Pokemon Go. Let's take a look back at this year and see everything that Niantic did that was so great. And let's look into 2019 and talk about what I hope Niantic implements into Pokemon Go, because the game is essentially finished at this point. They have everything that they've originally wanted for the game now currently in the game. So in 2019, we could look forward to a couple of bug fixes and tweaking. At least that's what I'm hoping for. In 2018, we got stuff like trading. We've got both Gen 3 and 4. And of course, we've had PvP. And of course, the community days have been really hitting it off. And then we had a very successful Pokemon Go Fest and a couple of Safari Zones as well. 2018 could be marked as the best year of Pokemon Go since its release 3 years ago. I mean, seriously, if you compare 2018 to 2017 and half of 2016, like, my goodness, what a difference. And I really have to give a lot of credit to people like Liz. You should follow her on Twitter. She is the community manager, community rep for Pokemon Go, and she has done a phenomenal job for Niantic, really reaching out to content creators, really collaborating, connecting Niantic with content creators like myself, as well as the community. And of course, we've had the Sylph Road just doing what they do. Like, they've been just knocking it out of the park, whether it be with the Sylph Arena, which is about to kick off, or with the Sylph Road app, like handshaking and all of this stuff. They've just been doing a phenomenal job as part of this community, and Niantic is just in a really good year. Like, 2018 was just a phenomenal year. Probably my most favorite thing about 2018 is the community days. I think this is just a stroke of genius. A lot of people will say that community days do have a little bit of caveats to them, like the exclusive moves, the pressure to get those moves during these community days, meaning if you were to miss a particular community day, well, you would essentially get screwed out. But of course, at the end of the year, at the December community day, we had kind of like a throwback community day where we had every single community day Pokemon spawning in big numbers throughout all of an entire weekend. So I really like the way they handled community day. I really think this was the biggest plus for Pokemon Go. And on a related note, the raid days were a particular favorite of mine. I really enjoyed Moltres Day, Articuno Day, Zapdos Day, Gengar Day. I really hope in 2019 they continue doing that, because it was just a concentrated day of just Wafu raiding that I really enjoyed, something I don't really do. It gave me an excuse to go out and Wafu raid and meet a lot of people. It was a really great time, and I really hope they continue doing stuff like that going into 2019. So yeah, here are a few things that I really hope go into 2019. I really hope they include more items like bottle caps. That's the one item in Pokemon Go that I've been desperately wanting, mainly because if you look at IVs, I think it is kind of like an arbitrary number, but for perfectionists like me, I want all of my Pokemon to be maxed out as much as possible, especially for PvP. So having bottle caps would definitely be a big plus, something that you could grind towards obtaining. And of course, you know, because there's no more scanners and because raiding is essentially grinded out anyway, like, I would really like for bottle caps to be in this game to really alleviate the stress of having perfect IVs, because when it comes to community days, when it comes to exclusive moves, I really want to have a good roster with great IVs, and I would hate to lose a PvP match just because I had lower IVs of the exact same Pokemon. So Niantic, that is my suggestion for 2019 for an item. I would love to see bottle caps added into the game. And of course, if they were to continue rolling along with raid bosses, with the rollouts of Gen 4, I would love to see that as well. Going into 2019, I'm pretty sure we're going to see the rest of Gen 4 as well as all of the other legendaries, because we have a lot of great stuff coming to Pokemon Go. And it looks like they're playing it smart this time, because if you look at last year with Gen 3, they rolled out the best legendaries of Gen 3 first. And of course, during the summer, we had the lull of the Reggie trio. So I think they're going to be doing something opposite this time, because obviously we've gotten Cresselia and Heatran. Comparatively to the other legendaries in Gen 4, they're not necessarily that great. I predict that the Lake Trio is going to be next for the next 3 months, and then when summer rolls around, we're finally going to be getting Dialga and Palkia. So it's an exciting time for raiding as well. And of course, what is the big feature that's currently still missing in Pokemon Go? Well, it's not necessarily a big feature, but it is essentially the next big thing. It is breeding. So now that we have PvP and trading, now we also need breeding to be into the game. And of course, breeding is not necessarily as important as other game modes that we currently have, but breeding is definitely a fun way for you to control your IVs, to get shinies, and I think it would be a fun element to Pokemon Go, especially with Adventure Sync currently in the game. I think it would be a great way for players to kind of just be motivated to go out and walk. And of course, aside from new raid bosses and new items and of course breeding, I would like for them to tweak and just completely refine their current stuff. Like gym battling certainly needs some work. Raiding is a little bit buggy, and of course with PvP it's extremely buggy, and it's a little bit of a bare bones kind of game mode. It definitely needs some new features added into it. It definitely needs some bug fixes. So I really hope 2019 is the year that they continuously just refine all of their current stuff, because a lot of the stuff that they have in the game right now is a lot of fun, but it is plagued by a lot of different bugs. So I really hope Niantic takes some time and just fixes a lot of bugs this year. I mean, minor text fixes are fine and dandy, but we need to get some ghost hits out of raids and PvP battles. We need to refine these game modes so that they're a lot more enjoyable, and then you can focus on bringing in some new stuff. 2019 is going to be an awesome year, but with 2018, it was a phenomenal year to begin with. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. I'll see you all in 2019. Catch you all later.